zero stress abroad, the same person that says who, the stress here is on another level.
Don't let me even talk. In my mind, I already assumed the transport system should be good.
Good, right? Yeah.
If you're not someone that wants to like go on dating apps or go to bars, it's even harder.
Oh, if it is for healthcare, oh my God, you can stay almost 2 years before you get attended to, especially if it's not an emergency situation.
The rate of discrimination here is probably zero.
I won't say zero.
Maybe not zero.
I've had people have their fair share. Job is waiting for me already when I land.
There is this notion that if I can do well in a Nigerian university, then succeeding in university abroad should be
yeah, it should be easy.
Notion of healthcare is free in Canada. Nah, it's not free.
Don't be deceived. We're not trying to scare you. We're just telling you our reality. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is. Wait,
I was serious. It wasn't me.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Yemisi. With me I have my very beautiful friends, and I'm super excited because this is like the first time that I have people with me. Anyway, today we are here to touch on one of the very important topics, or let me just say questions that people have been asking me, and it is those information that you've been told back in your home country. And we're not going to be really specific on Nigeria because we are all from Nigeria, right? But we'll try to touch on different information that people usually hear when they are back home in their home country, and then you realize when you get to Canada that it's not the truth. So yeah, I'm just gonna allow them introduce themselves quickly and we'll get right into it.
My name is Uju.
Famous Uju.
What else do you want to know?
That's fine, you're my friend and we attend we are in USASC. You're studying masters of public administration, right? Hey, no, use your mouth to tell them.
You have already finished the introduction.
Then to my left.
Hi everyone, my name is Anu or Teresa, whichever one comes to your mind. I'm Yemisi's friend. I'm doing my master's in law at USASC, and I've been on this channel before.
I'm so excited to have this video, you guys, because it's not easy to pull these people into this video today. We'll just quickly.
The weather is bad.
The weather is bad.
I went through hell getting here today.
Can you see us putting us our thick clothes? There's snowstorm. Exactly. We'll just quickly jump right into it. For me, I think that one of the major things that people used to say before you come to Canada is it's so cold that you might not be able to cope. You know, especially for, I think it varies from people to people or from location to location, but coming to like Saskatchewan is like very cold, but then people will tell you like, oh, don't go there, it's so cold. But like, we've been here for more than a year and we are still alive. So if that's one of those things that people have told you that is holding you back from like coming down here, then I think you need to reconsider, because like you guys can see we are doing good. So yeah, that's for me. So do you want to talk about yours?
Yeah, one of the things they say, not just Saskatchewan alone, but they will tell you healthcare is free in Canada. And then when I got here, I was thinking, oh, I will just stroll into a clinic and then tell them I have a headache, and then they will just give me drugs because, you know, but it's not entirely true. It's true partly, but it's not entirely true. Healthcare is free if you pay your tax. Not free, but the amount you pay is deducted from your tax. So for your consultation and all of that, of course you don't pay for that because it's deducted from your tax. But if you go there and then they recommend drugs for you, or you have to do other tests and all of that, you will have to pay. You have to pay for your drugs. If you go for your eye test, if you need glasses just like Uju, you would have to. There is a certain amount, although they might not ask you to pay for the test, but for your frame, of course you'll have to pay for your frame. And then if you also need further tests, if the clinic can help you, they will have to refer you to a bigger hospital most likely, and you might have to pay for that. So it's not entirely free. So the notion of, oh, Canada, of course healthcare is free in Canada. Nah, it's not free.
Don't be deceived. So Uju, which one do you have for us?
I'll just say, like, when you are coming, a lot of people say carry Indomie.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have Indomie there.
Yeah.
So imagine, I didn't carry Indomie, but imagine my shock when like the Indomie here is, I think it's better than the Indomie we have in Nigeria.
I think it's even the same.
There's absolutely like no difference. And if you are a ramen, Korean noodles person like I am, there are lots of options for you. So please, if you are packing Indomie right now, go and unpack it.
Yeah,
there is no need to bring Indomie to Canada.
It's not just Indomie. All those, I won't get dry fish, or I won't get stock fish. You would actually get all those things.
In the African market,
in the African store.
So the thing is, it will be expensive, but like you are going to have it. It's better for you to get things that you would normally not get. Another thing, rice. Don't even bother. Like, some people send me questions, should I bring rice? I'm like, why? There are so many. What matters? Rice, Superstore, everywhere. You don't have to. Space. And Uju also discovered a bread. It's called Lagos bread. That bread.
Lagos bread is just like Niger bread.
So
it's expensive, but it's like Niger bread.
It still gives you the taste
thing
of
is
home.
You get all those things, but just at a higher price. So, but the notion that when you get there you won't get those things, it's not true.
No. As small as Saskatoon is, everything you need is here. I think the key is, once you like settle in and start earning in Canadian dollars, you realize that you don't really need to bring a lot of these things. So just bring like things that you used to settle, and then you can now like find them easily here. It's not scarce at all.
I totally agree. So I asked some of my friends this question. They're Africans, but they're not all Nigerians. So I sent them these questions just so that I can see things from their own perspective as well. And of course, we can't bring everybody in this video. Like, people are busy trying to make money, trying to study and all of that. So I have those responses with me, and I'm going to mention them and also ask them to probably judge from their own perspective. Someone's response was, nothing has caught me off guard so far. So that person, good for you. Another person says, job is waiting for me already when I land. When I saw this response, I was just laughing. Okay, maybe we should share how long it took us to get our jobs. It took me 5 to 6 weeks to get my first job, and it took you
it was 5 to 6 weeks also
to get a job as well.
I think it was around the same time for me.
So it's not automatic. Don't be deceived. Like, you're going to get jobs, and I've said it so many times, you get so many jobs. Like, it's even easier to get minimum wage jobs, right? But don't have that notion that when you come here, like, there's already a job waiting for you.
Well, unless maybe you have friends here that have
helped you to look for
get that
thank you for that one.
But if you are just coming and your friends are students like you and they haven't made that arrangement for you, then just plan to spend at least 6 weeks without a job,
and try to bring cash as well.
Definitely bring enough money for your first 3 months.
Yes, rent for the first 3 months.
It's important.
Food, just make sure you are okay, like something that can be sufficient for you for the first 3 months, just in case, because you never can tell. Another person says, I can live La Vida Loca lifestyle only on child support payments without needing to work. And this person has 2 kids. No, she has 3 kids. When I saw this one, I was laughing, because so for those people that don't know, if you come in as a permanent resident or you are a citizen, then you are entitled to child support, but that is not for international students. So if you come in as an international student and you did not know that you're not going to be entitled to something like this, don't even bother. And for those people that come in as permanent residents that also get this notion that their child support is going to be enough for them, that's not true. Because even though there are some agreements in the provinces to reduce the childcare cost per day, I think to $10, but that's not like fully implemented right now, maybe by 2025. But basically, do not think that that will be sufficient for you to stay back home and not work. So yeah, do you guys have anything to add?
No, I think it's self-explanatory. Like, you know, the government is not going to pay you to stay at home, but they will incentivize you to like take care of your kids. So I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah. So another person says, no stress abroad. The same person that says who? The stress here is on another level.
Don't let me even talk.
No, we are here to share our experiences. Please, no, but this is not us trying to, you know, make you feel like, oh, maybe you've been deceived. No, like I said, it's a case by case thing. I have been stressed. I mean, my first year, work and study is not a joke. You know, coming from Nigeria, and we're all Nigerians, like I said, coming from Nigeria, my first, and yes, we also all had our first degree in our home country, Nigeria. So in Nigeria, you go to school and your parents send you money. But like over here, you have to work. Not like you have to, but like,
you don't have to make a living.
Work now.
They will not tell you. So definitely you have to work And it was a crazy one. That's why I keep telling people be mentally prepared, because the truth is so many people just come here with the notion that just go to school and maybe there is one government that will pay you money. There's some free money sometimes, not entirely free, from your tax, maybe GST credits and all of that. But do not think
that you have to fold your hands and then
you
have to work.
The key difference is that here, when you clock in for work, you are working that full 8 hours. That full 5 hours. It's not like back home where like most jobs are salaried. We don't do hourly work back home. So you can be in your office and find like 1 or 2 hours to chill and gist. But here, once you step in, your 8 hours is your 8 hours. And like your bills are constantly
rising
out. So now layering school on top of that dynamic, it's crazy.
And then I need to quickly add about stress, because there is this notion that if I can do well in a Nigerian university, then succeeding in university abroad should be
it should be easy. People always say, because if I can rough it here, why would I rough it?
First class or 2-1 in my
uni. Can't rough it.
Once I come abroad, it's going to be like a smooth sail. Oh no,
I think the key thing is that back home the class sizes are larger, so your lecturers don't have the time for detail. Imagine marking 100, 200 scripts. How many independent thoughts do you want to be reading, right? So it's really like plug and play. You read, you pass, you do what your lecturer says. Here they want your independent thoughts. Your research has to be done with academic integrity. Your assignments have to be done with, meaning that if you paraphrase, you have to reference. Like you can't just copy and paste, like you say la crème la peau. It doesn't work.
And then if you think that Shebi is just a reference, fine, you can do your copy and paste and reference, but they will still ask you, what's your thoughts? What's your opinion? We need to know what you think about this thing. So it's not about Shebi is just for me to just put my references and I'll be good to go.
And your reference has formats, and different professors have
different formats.
Exactly. Because I got to know recently that for some faculties they don't use McGill guide. For law we use McGill.
We use APA.
So you would think that I was never used to McGill while I was in Nigeria. I was used to APA. So when I got here and then you have to use McGill, I was like, what is that? What is McGill? Where do I start from? So you think that if I have it in Nigeria, abroad, it's going to be so easy.
And what you said about class size, because the thing is, I think we are usually like not up to 30 in most of our classes, so it's easy for the lecturer to know you, to pick on you. You have to put in the work. Nobody will understand that you are working. That's why you did not study. Because over here children from like 14 years old already starts working. So it's like a norm here. And sometimes when I tell them, it's not normal to us back home in Nigeria, they find it surprising, right? So nobody is going to pardon you for working and studying, because it's entirely it's in your hands to to do.
But they give consideration, right? So if you are feeling stressed, you have that room to tell your lecturer that I'm feeling stressed, I'm mentally exhausted, and get an extension.
I think that's the part that people think. I think that's the reason why people think it's easier. Because of course they are very considerate compared to Nigerian universities. They are very considerate, but you still have to put in the work. They
are very big on mental health.
Free pass.
You cannot even mistakenly say, I feel stressed, or I feel challenged or something. Like you will get an extension. There's so much support. That was a lot. Okay, so the next one someone said is, they said there will be dollars on the streets. Of course, I know this one. Nobody can even tell me that one from Nigeria now.
Excuse me.
No, there are no dollars. See, let me tell you what surprised us when we came, because myself and Ojo, we live together and a lot of people will know her, right? I remember when we would just joke in the house and said, not even 1 penny, like one no coin. You are not going to stay on the floor.
As an full adult in Nigeria, I'll go to some places and my family members will give me money. Your friend self can even say, I'll take this 5K. Here, one card,
nothing like that.
No one's giving you that.
If
and
you go on dates or something,
to give them too. So it's definitely interesting.
Very funny. When I saw that one, I was just laughing. Okay, someone also said, healthcare is free, but Anu touched on that already. Someone said maybe that things take time and it's not always as straightforward as people make it to be. when the person sent this one, I was not really sure, but yeah, I wasn't really sure of the context, because personally, and maybe this varies from country to country again, but from where we are coming from, and this is not to bash our country, but like things are straightforward here than back in Nigeria.
Or maybe the person is talking about like waiting for doctors and things like that.
Oh, if it is for healthcare, oh my God, you can stay
appointment
almost 2 years before you get attended to, especially if it's not an emergency situation.
I think that's one thing you also need to know about their healthcare. Even though everybody seems, abroad healthcare is better, but the waiting time here is quite crazy.
Yeah,
I learned that in Nova Scotia, the number of people waiting for doctors right now is over the roof. It's also one thing that the impression we had that, when we come abroad, of course, just for you to knock on the doctor's door and you get an appointment. It's not easy. 2 years, you are still waiting to get an appointment.
Yeah. And I said 2 years because when I was working part-time, when I first came, there's this particular lady that works with us, and she told us that she had registered for a knee surgery for like, I think since 2020, and that her date will be February 2022. And I'm like, what? She's like, oh yeah, because it's not an emergency situation. But back home in Nigeria, I think it's not the case. So
in Nigeria, you have your money, you get your
okay. Yeah. So someone says this one is very funny, and I think Uju would do justice to this one, because it's like a point that she really, really loves. The man said, if you're a babe, just pray to God. Okay, Yemisi, calm down. Okay. If you're a babe, just pray to God. Finding a good man is becoming a Herculean task. Just pray to God. LOL. What made me laugh is the emphasis on just pray to God twice.
The sis has been through it.
It's actually a guy.
Oh my God.
It's actually a guy that says
Wow.
So what do you guys want to say?
It's definitely different.
Yeah.
Like I tell people that in Nigeria, I come out, I walk on the streets, people are toasting me. In Canada, they will be looking at you, but they would never approach you. And if you're not someone that wants to like go on dating apps or go to bars, it's even harder.
Yeah.
And I think as students, it was easier because people used to fall in love in school before, but because of COVID, you don't really meet your classmates, you don't meet other people in your faculty. So it's complex. You always need to pray to God for a life partner, right? So yes, but I think that it's not as difficult as
it's not so bad.
It's just your standard. What do you want?
Yeah, and I also feel like community, like go out, meet with people, attend a church, attend mosque, whichever religion, volunteer, go out, like try to go out, especially during summer, because like right now it's cold outside, nobody want to go out, right? But yeah, I think that also helps people. So don't be scared.
Dating helps. It helps, but we're a bit out it, but it does help, and online dating has a lot of success stories if you open your mind and like do a proper filter, because there are a lot of crazy people on those platforms.
For some of us that are very reserved,
your husband.
Okay, so this person says that your previous experience won't count. That one is even a lie.
Oh no.
But yeah, it's total no.
It counts.
Yeah.
You just need to know how to sell yourself.
Yeah.
Where is the person coming from? The person who said
experience.
That. What kind of work?
No, the person is saying that, my question was, what's that thing that people told you in Nigeria that you realized when you came here that it's a lie? Yeah. They told, I guess the person was told, your previous experience will not count, your Nigerian experience. Trust me. One thing someone said to me in an interview was, you coming in as an international student or with an international experience is even something to really sell. Yeah. It's even like a plus for you,
And so for them too, because you have a different perspective
of the job or the work environment. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, that's just debunk that one. I think that person said that and said, and that the government will be sharing free money. I think we touched on that a little bit, but
maybe what the person is trying to say is tax refunds.
We get tax refunds if you file your tax. Yes,
what the person is saying.
Yeah, so we get tax refunds when you file your tax, and from time to time, some provincial government also thinks like, maybe the cost of inflation is going
like Saskatchewan
climate tax credit as well, Saskatchewan affordability credit, all of those things. So they are not free money. It's as a result of the tax you filed. So yeah. Someone said I literally didn't have any because I don't or didn't even care. Okay, someone said, I feel the bus system is really, really bad and people do not emphasize it as much as they should. But yeah, I don't think this is coming from my question of whether something is false or not. But like, yeah, that is true. We have our experiences.
No, it's true. Like, because if in Nigeria, even though our bus system is different, unless there is scarcity or something, the bus network is good, right? We have the informal
bus
system. Yeah. Here, but I think it's because we are if the person is in Saskatchewan, we don't have the population to drive an efficient bus service. So the bus typically focuses on central areas, and then if it goes out of that central areas, the wait time is longer.
So don't live in those places.
Yeah, so don't live in those places. Like, and then if you now introduce winter, like, we lived in a central place, but winter dealt with us. Using the bus in winter is madness. Like, your bus will be delayed, your bus will, like, and then you've already planned that, oh, I need to be at the bus 2 minutes before it comes. It now gets delayed and you are in minus 32 for 10 minutes.
Oh, Uju, you are reliving some memories.
Like crying.
As in,
you are reliving some memories.
It's traumatic. Last year, I just gave up and I was using Uber. I was literally working for Uber because it was too cold for me to just be waiting for the bus, and I was just like, you know what?
I think it's probably one of the things that I never thought I would experience here, because I thought going abroad, of course, abroad should be better. Yeah. And I never thought the transport, I never even read about it, because in my mind I already assumed the transport system should be good. Right?
Yeah.
And then when I got here November last year, and then it was in the heart of winter.
Oh, exactly 1 year. Oh, yeah, congrats.
Exactly 1 year in a few days. So when I got here, and then I had to, you know, I was still struggling to use the mobile app. We use mobile app. Yeah. And then I would get to the bus stop at a certain time, and then I would just see delayed for 15-20 minutes. Yeah. And I'm under the code, and this is minus 30 something degree.
You guys are even emphasizing on the one that is delayed. What about the ones that leave earlier than when?
You the day I was crossing.
Like you will not be surprised. But it's 8:10. You told me now. It's not yet 8:10.
Like, there was a day I was just, the bus was at the other side. I was just crossing. I was waiting for the red. I was looking at the bus. I was looking at it. I was just praying for the sign to change to green so I could cross. Before the lights changed to green, the bus already.
Yeah, they don't wait for you, which I personally find sad. You know, like if you see somebody at a stop sign, it's just assume that they are coming to enter your bus.
At least
it's heartbreaking because you are like struggling and like it's cold, and then this bus just drives, and you know that like you just have to take an Uber or you have to go back home or you have to call in late, especially if you are going to work. But one thing I would say is that I wish I had known how affordable a first level car was. If I had known how affordable a first level car was, I would have saved and come with money to buy a car. Yeah,
please explain that first level car, because some people might not understand.
So if you are coming to a place like Saskatchewan, you need a car. If you're not in Toronto, just put a car in your budget. A first level car is point A to point B. It takes you to school, it takes you to work. It can be a 2007, it can be a 2010 car, but it doesn't have any mechanical issues. It may not have all the fancy sensors, but like you can drive it, go and come, and maybe it will cost you around maybe 3,000 to 5,000 because there's inflation. But as at the time we came, people bought cars at 2,000. 2,500, and I was like, really? I can buy a car at this price, and I didn't come with money for a car, you know. So I would say that like cars are not as expensive as they are in Nigeria. If you are someone that is comfortable with a point A to, I'm not saying all those cars that have died but personally, like if you get, you might see a car that is maybe about 200,000 on it. Here, car maintenance is part of your insurance. You have to maintain your car. So even if it's 200,000, you can still drive that car for 3 years, 4 years with good maintenance, right? So cars are not as expensive, and if you're coming to Canada, definitely put a car in your 6 month budget. You can rough it for 6 months, but after that it will start getting irritating, because imagine a 6 minutes drive taking you 45 minutes on the bus. I suffered that.
we did
drive 45 minutes on the bus. I was just like, I'm wasting my life on this bus.
Your time, your money. So another thing I wanted to quickly touch on is the fact that some people might be wondering, might be just thinking that, oh well, I'm going to Vancouver, I'm going to Toronto, but just know that the person that sent me this message or this response is not even in Saskatoon. So I asked the person, I'm like, oh, I used to think train system works over there, and the person said, but it still gets delayed during winter. So at the end of the day, you still want to, you know, probably get something small that can move you around. Okay, another response I got was, the first thing that comes to mind is my cousin in America warning me to expect hostility. However, I called her from the Saskatoon airport to tell her how my luggages fell from the trolley, and it was 2 whites that rushed to help me pick them up.
Oh yes, I tell people that in Saskatoon and in Canada, I forget I'm a black person. I can count the number of hosts. I've not even had major hostel. Maybe someone just gives you a finger, you know, that kind of thing. But compared to even being a visitor in some European countries, you will always remember that, oh, I'm a black person, because people are just watching you suspiciously sometimes. But here you don't get that, and maybe it's because of the Canadian politeness. You know, I've been told that if you go further into rural areas, you might experience some of that. But since I've been here, the color of my skin has never ever come to my mind as a barrier.
To add to that, I met a guy recently, not in Saskatchewan, in another province entirely. He's Indian, Sikh. Those ones that tie the turban. So he was telling me about his experience, that he got here 3 years ago, and then he was just telling me about the Sikh culture basically, and then he told me there was a time he exposed his hair when he was in a particular country. I'm not going to mention the country. So he said when he was in that particular country, the rate of discrimination was really high, and at the time he had to resign from the job because he was dealing with customers, and then at the point customers started reporting that maybe he's a Taliban and all of that, because he was tying his turban. So at certain time he had to stop wearing the turban and he had to cut his long hair. So he said it was one of the reasons why he had to even move to Canada, because of, you know, the rate of discrimination here is probably zero.
I won't say zero.
Maybe not zero.
I've had people have their fair share, you know,
so but when he got here, he said, of course, now he's tying his turban, and then people still experience it. I don't think it's that.
It's not. It's not in your face.
There's silent discrimination, but it's just not in your face.
And it also varies, depending on the cities, because you said, in Saskatoon it feels like home. People make you.
Saskatoon is very homey.
Very homey. So if you want to go to, that's why I keep telling you, if you want to go to a province or even a city that makes you feel like you are still at home, sort of, you can come to Saskatoon. The weather is not going to kill you. We're here.
That's last.
Another response I got was, my idea before coming was you make money easily. I think we touched on that.
There's no free money.
No free money. So you work for every money that you get.
You will not even see one card on the road to pick.
What do we even say?
Coin.
Money this one.
Don't manage anything. No. So there's no free money.
Another one is Saskatchewan is a village.
Yes.
This is funny because I don't know if it is just me. No. I don't know if it's just me, but I mean, I've traveled to Vancouver, I've traveled to Toronto, and not to say that there are places that I would love to visit again, there are places that I don't mind living in, but when I'm there, I still feel like I need to go home. I don't know. That's just how I feel. So I'm sorry if you are one of those people that thinks Saskatchewan is a village, but to me it's not. And
no, I think I would like to address that. Some would probably refer to Saskatchewan as a village because of where they've been. I totally understand. If you grew up in somewhere like Toronto or one of these big cities, if you come here, you might think, what's going on here? Why am I seeing planes and planes?
I'm
not seeing. So I understand someone saying, it feels like a village or it looks like a village. I understand, but when you live in here, or impression might change. Your orientation might change. It's not totally. It's not that bad. It's not bad.
It's not bad actually.
I think
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just because people keep comparing it to
bigger cities.
Yeah. Oh, compared to this where you have this story building. I think in Saskatchewan, they will tell you the highest building is Nutrient. So I compared to other cities, it's kind of small, but it's not a village. I wouldn't say it's.
I wouldn't even say it's small. Saskatchewan is almost as big as Nigeria. Like just small difference.
Yeah.
And we're just above 1 million people here. So when you think of it in that thing,
context,
we are spread out. But in the areas where people are concentrated, you get everything that you need, right? And the thing about Saskatchewan or Saskatoon, which I've experienced the longest, is that by the time you start to make friends, you start to know where the fun things are happening.
Oh yeah, I was going to say that.
So if you don't know where the fun things are happening, it may come across as there's nothing to do.
Yes.
Or like there's a lot to do. There's skydiving. I was so surprised when I found that there was skydiving.
Hot air balloon. I saw that a lot.
Hot air balloon. Like there's so many fun things to do. So it's like building a community that keeps you inspired. But
and if you love theater right now, places
are opening up.
So you can go. It's actually, if you know the places to go,
you know where to go. Your social calendar will be like
it's that bad.
And personally, I just feel like, is that the reason why you're even coming to Canada in the first place?
No, some people want to.
I know some people want to balance, but like, if that is, no, for some people, it might be their own deal breaker. Like, they can't come to Canada because they feel like, like Saskatchewan is boring, and maybe that's where they go admission. Do you get? Like, they can probably even delay their, maybe another year to go to Toronto or stuff. To me, I even feel like those places are
it's not a deal breaker for me. I don't know about any other person, but for me, it's not a deal breaker. It's not like if I don't experience those things, you can travel to those places.
The funny thing is that Saskatchewan has jobs.
Like, look at the brighter side of everything. More opportunities.
The jobs that people are competing for are available here, almost on a platter of gold. Just go to school, network the way you are supposed to network, and apply. So there's less competition for high profile jobs. Yes, some sectors are not as vast here, but like if you want to work with like government,
of course
it's easier to get that in Saskatchewan than to get that in another province. So like you really have to be strategic, and I always say that Saskatchewan is for people that want balance. Like, you want to live in between a town and city. You want that balance between town and city living, and at an affordable cost. So
and the minimum wage is not bad.
And it increased recently.
It's the cost of living. It's good.
It's okay. And I wanted to touch on that opportunity. I don't think there's any province that has a graduate retention program. It's only Saskatchewan. So just in order for them to attract you, like as a student, in order for them to attract you to stay back in the province, there is a graduate retention program for you. So there are like so many benefits of even, being here in Saskatchewan. So if you want to see it from our perspective, then I feel like that would be better for you. Someone said no jobs here. That's totally a big lie. We don't even have to dwell on that. Someone said that code in Canada na die. Okay, in Pidgin, Nigerian Pidgin, but I have survived for almost 2 years without a car and flying bus anyhow for winter. I think this one it varies from person to person. But of course, like, you're not going to die, you're going to survive.
And then if you're like me, Uju has a car, I don't have a car. I'm already spending a year without a car. And my second winter. So you're not going to die.
You're not going to die.
And I think survive it. There are people that stayed 2 years without cars. Actually were not driving before they came here. So you have to start the license process from the beginning. That's why like it would take so long. But if you're already driving, most provinces allow international students to drive immediately you come, as long as you're registered in school. So I think that is a major factor that someone will stay for 2 years without purchasing.
But without that, then there's no reason to stay back
that
here.
You need a car.
But don't be discouraged if you don't.
If you don't, you survive.
You still survive.
I did 1 year. When did I buy my car?
Recently.
I did 1 year without a car. So.
And another thing you want to do, in case that's like a big deal for you, try to look for apartments that are very close to places that you visit often, like school, work, and also closer to a bus stop. So I think think that should help you.
One bus is the key.
One bus.
One
if
bus
it's more than
work,
a bus,
one bus to school, one bus to the grocery store.
would you 2 buses?
Oh,
So let me give you the experience.
we suffer.
I'll take a bus to downtown, stay there for 20 minutes before the next bus comes, and downtown is open.
No cover.
And then I think when you're coming to Canada, if you're not good with geography, your compass, just learn how to
Just learn.
Be like me.
Just learn. Because I'm a pro.
That was a day.
They will not teach you.
I was supposed to enter bus 6. So I saw bus 6 on one side, bus on the other side. I was like,
which one?
It was telling me south. That was going to north.
I also learned the hard way. So
this my bus.
Yeah.
Because I was still figuring out southwest.
Yeah.
If you are going to be using the bus, learn how to use your compass.
It's very important. Thank you for pointing that out.
If you're looking for southeast and southwest.
Bus 101.
Yeah, for example, like the way she said bus 6. So there is a way on the app. I don't even know. Somebody has told me, not just one person. When I newly came and I used to say, oh, I missed my bus. People are like, oh, can you teach us how to? I don't think it's something they can actually teach you. You learn.
After missing your
you learn
bus
after
like
experience. Yeah, because the way she said bus 6, we have bus 6 going down and the one going down might be Preston, the one going this way might be Market Mall. So it's going to be on the app.
Do you know
to tell you bus 6, the Market Mall. Do you get like
that
it
was
makes
crazy.
you
And then to
you'll
cross
be good.
again, I had to wait for the light.
Yeah.
So imagine waiting for the light to cross
before you catch up, and the next one that'll be coming for the right place might be under 20 minutes.
No, it was a crazy day. So please learn how to use your compass.
We're not trying to scare you. We're just telling you our reality. Or maybe our experience, no longer our reality. Is that our experience?
I will never forget that day.
Yeah.
I will never. I was running around.
It was fun, as you guys can see, sharing all of our experiences, and I just knew that it would not be fun to be alone to share all of this, so that's why I brought them, and I'm so excited that they made it. You guys don't want to know how I brought them, but just thank them in the comment section for me. If you enjoyed this video, please let us know in the comment section, and of course like this video, share and subscribe. If you are a Canadian or an immigrant and you have your experiences, please feel free to share, because people will also learn in the comment section. We'll see you guys in the next, I'm saying we because I'm bribing them to come back.
Eh?
Yes. Don't you guys enjoy today's session? Wait now, my subscribers will bribe people in advance.
I've sent my invoice. Yeah, you take your mail.
Let me know. You guys you encourage now. Just let them know in the comment section that you enjoyed today's session. We would love to have them back.
Disclaimer. I don't know about Uju, but I don't know how to look into that camera. So my eyes have been going.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You are pardoned.
So in case I'm not focusing on the right spot,
don't worry, you are
I'm
pardoned.
very sorry.
Why?
Tell her to stay.
Come back. And people can be rude, but no, my subscribers are the most amazing people.
Forgive me.
Very good people. No hate zone, no trouble zone in this community. All right, so you guys thank them in the comment section, because of course this was a lovely one. I hope that you guys enjoy it as much as we did recording this. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.
Bye.